Hey folks, this is Dr. Van Breeding. At MCHC, we've secured the best providers and medical staff to care for you and your family. But sometimes your health may require more specialized treatment. MCHC has great relations with the best specialists in Hazard, Pikeville, or Lexington, making sure your referral is handled in a timely manner. Your health is the number one priority of ours, and the ability to care for you is just another way Mountain Comprehensive Health Corporation is providing better health for a longer life.
Hey, this is Oliver Simmons. You're listening to You Know the Drill with Wes and Brady.
This is Aaron Harrison. You listening to You Know the Drill with Wes and Brady.
This is Alex Fortress. I'm on with You Know the Drill with Wes and Brady, and hopefully it should be a good time.
Man, Brady, I really like the intro that Hometown 24 helped hook us up with there. But I really want, do you think, how much would it cost, do you think, to get like the Gaither Brothers vocal band to record us an intro?
Man, we should maybe just put in like an RFP out. Maybe they need it.
Tanner likes it. Tanner likes it. We should. I mean, my dream, Brady, honestly, my dream would be to have like Katy Perry or Sabrina Carpenter do it. We're on a little bit of a budget.
We've been on a Bieber kick. I think Bieber had the big Coachella thing the other day, and now I think I'm on a Bieber trend.
I think the only way, though, that I would really like Biebs to do it is if he did it in the melody of Baby.
See, I'm not a Baby. I'm a Beauty and the Beat guy.
Oh, that's a good one, too. That's a good one.
Dude, what's going on? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
Man, well, listen, I know. I feel like it's been a little bit. And I hate it, Brady, because it's like the weather is finally beautiful in Kentucky. Keeneland is out full force across the road here and there, and I've not got to see any, and I don't like it. What's this work shit we all have to do?
You hate Keeneland.
Man, I love me some Keeneland, and I actually can't wait. I think our brother Winston Lee is going to make a Keeneland appearance.
You like Keeneland so much, you move closer.
It's true. That's true. I don't know if you saw today, someone I think tried to just land a plane at Keeneland and missed and ended up in a field over here. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that.
Some Phil Collins drums too. Maybe that's it, Tanner. Maybe some Justin Bieber vocals with Phil Collins on the drum and Kenny G on the.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know who that is.
Kenny G. Emily, educate your man. I saw that, Emily. Yeah. I was like,
Kenny G.
Kenny G. Is it like the saxophone that he plays? Yeah. Tanner says, yes, sir. The saxophone. Oh, man. Could you imagine Biebs' voice and Phil Collins along with Kenny G on the sax? Man.
Is Phil Collins the guy from Tarzan?
I guess. He's the I can feel it.
Yeah. In the air. Yeah. That's the drums.
That's it.
Right,
that is it.
We are alive.
I think Brady missed his calling, man. That was good. That was really good.
There we go.
That's kind of
impressive. Is that the beat? Maybe when the transfer portal commits happen, maybe that's the beat. When people, I know Tanner's loving. We'll talk about the Hoosiers here in a bit, but Tanner's on cloud nine, man. Just came off of a football national championship with Indiana. And now finally the Hoosiers have woke up in the portal and have themselves a team.
Yep. He is. He's on cloud nine. If I could ever play the sax as good as Kenny G, I'll get. Yeah, we got to keep it PG. Hometown 24 requires a PG-13 and under requirement, Tanner. No, I think that's it, Brady. Yeah, I think that's the beat for the transfer portal. And maybe what's the noise if we whiff on a recruit?
It's a great question. I think you man, I don't know. That's a good question. Let me think about this as the duration of the thing. I'll think of something.
Think of it. Think of it. I think, you were talking about Indiana and our boy Tanner on Cloud 9. What about, I don't know if you've seen it. I even made look at this. I even made a banner for this because I've been thinking about it. Our boy Andrew Ortelli is living in the city right now. Brady, it's like one of those cities. Philly is one of those cities right now where everything's happening at once.
What's going on in Philly? Did I miss something?
Well, you've got the NBA playoffs with the 76ers. You've got the Flyers and the NHL going on right now with that. You've got a World Cup coming up that's going to have a site in Philly. You've got what else? There's something else.
Phillies. I mean, they're playing. They're good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like everything is going on right now, man. It's the spot to be.
That's
the Hannah Montana riff.
What's the Hannah Montana? Well, I leave on a work trip for like 4 days. I come back and I feel like I'm not even like I don't even know what's going on in the world.
You did like a time warp, Brady.
Oh yeah, I know, but we're all good. We're all good.
Yeah, it's hosting the NFL draft. So Pennsylvania, man. My rental car has Pennsylvania plates.
maybe Lamine Yamal will like have that car for when he comes into town.
Wouldn't that be cool if like and I'm just waiting on you to tell me we're going to play Would You Rather again, but what if whatever state license plate you put on a car, you could magically teleport to that state? What state would you pick?
Ooh. I don't know. That's a loaded question. I think I don't know. Or what if you happen to like, had you guys ever play Nerf Wars when you were in school?
Yeah.
What if there was a thing where like, if you slapped on like a new license plate while you're sitting in it, like you were forced to teleport to that. Like if you were like, imagine if you were sitting in your car and I come up behind you with a license plate from like Montana or not to go state, but like New Jersey. Sorry, Ort, but just throw it on there. You're up there, like
Idaho.
Yeah, and it's just a game, so you can't go back till someone slaps another license plate on you.
Bro, that would be wild. That'd be wild. What state what's like
the worst?
The worst. I was trying to think of a cool word.
Like what if like you can't get out of it? Like imagine going the worst. No one's gonna get you out. So like it would be known like Wes has the license plate of it's got to be like a Northeast state. Like it's just unenjoyable to live in.
Connecticut.
Or sorry, Seth Curlock, if you're listening, maybe West Virginia.
West Virginia. Or Rhode Island. Alabama, Mississippi. Tanner, that's a good point. At least you could watch some football while you were in Alabama.
I'm going to get canceled. Seth's going to go crazy because he heard me say West Virginia if he hears that. But
what if Brady, what if you could only leave that state if you tagged someone else's car? And what if the game ends and you've not tagged somebody, you have to stay in that state for a year?
Oh boy.
Man.
Now we're on to something. We might be onto a game. We call up the Beast Games. It's going to be a new game.
Okay, or at least a movie. We got to profit off this somehow.
Yeah. And then it's called in light of the season, it's called something portal, like the license portal or the DMV portal. Or what if you let's spin it. What if you had to go play for a college? You went to a college to play basketball for them that you just got slapped on and where you were forced.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And you were forced to play for like Brescia.
You'd have to work. You have to work to play there too. You have to get a job.
Dang, man. Dang.
No, we could be onto something. We need to keep this rocking and rolling.
I like it. Yeah, this is a good idea. Who can we pitch this to? Y'all let us know. Let us know in the comments who we can pitch this to make this happen.
And good news this week though, the Artemis came back. The thing that the astronauts that went to the moon, they like rolled around the moon. We never talked about
that. They're back. Yes.
Do you think they watch like TV up there? Like, do you think they know? Like, do you think they're as lost coming back to Earth as I felt when I went to Florida and came back here? Like, I don't even know what's going on. Do you think they're that lost?
They have to be like a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What, like, think about like what all could happen. Like, what if, which they're in communication now, right? Like they've got communications, but
looking at that thing, I'm gonna mark my words. I don't think we went to the moon before. The fact that they didn't go, right? Like how that was like what 20, that was like 40 years. We did not go. I'm going on the word. There's no way we've been to the moon. Seeing that capsule coming down with the heat shield and that's all crusted up, and there's no shot.
You think about it, Brady. It's been, and I used to tell my classes this as a history teacher, right? Like, so think about it like this. You were in like the space race with the Soviet Union. So it's like you're trying to show the world that you're on top. The government's willing to lie, right? And then it's like, we used to talk about in school all the time. Well, do you believe something just because the government told you believe it? Just because your textbook says it? Well, the same goes for the moon, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you believe we went to the moon? What proof do we have other than the government said we went?
There's no way. I mean, looking at that, like, why did they not, like, how were we able to do it? Like, what is it, 40 years ago? I don't even know the date. Someone fact check me. But and then it was such a big deal. We slingshot around to the moon. We are landing a rocket back upright. Elon Musk is landing a thing back on it, like, and we can't get to the moon. And we want, and the audacity to say we want to go to Mars. We can't even go to the moon. But let's go to Mars.
And what's even crazier to me, Brady, I've been watching the show, the Stephen King novel 11/22/63, when the guy goes back in time to save Kennedy from getting shot. Your fan, yeah,
yeah.
Correct. And it's like watching that movie and seeing what 1960 to 1963 looked like.
Yeah,
and we went to the moon, but in those circumstances.
And filmed it.
Right.
Man, I don't know. It's hard. The more
hey, Joe, we're a big fan of you.
Yes. Hit him. I hope the ankle's good, Joe. Give us an injury update. But no, man, it is crazy. Like, I could go on for days about this. This could be like our sideshow, but we did not go to the moon. Stumbo says we never went to the moon.
Let us know. Have we ever been to the moon?
I saw a really ignorant tweet a long time ago that made me think, and this is the last thing we can say on this, but you going back to what does the government ask, right? Like, not ask, but they tell us and we believe it. Like, what if, and this is going to make me sound really stupid, so I'm going to preface this is not my own opinion, but what if you could actually breathe in outer space? Like, what if you could? Like, what?
And it's like they don't want you to know that.
They don't want you to know, so you don't go escape anywhere. Just saying. It sounds really stupid, and I don't believe it, but how do we
watch a lot of those shows? Like we've just been watching Paradise season 2.
No.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
I'm trying to finish Desperate Housewives before we jump to another show.
Tanner says we've not been to the moon. Stumbo says we're not to the moon. Joe says the
ankle's good, Joe.
Back on top.
I know that backhand, Joe. Or no, Joe's not a backhand guy. He's a down the line lefty with his pickleball.
Straight and narrow.
Well, let's talk.
I don't know what we're going to talk about, Brady. We're talking about the damn moon and space landings right now, and this is a sports show.
It's more predictable how we can get to the moon than some of these portal stuff that we're seeing out on the internet. So it's a good. Oh, Joe. Ooh.
The next topic.
This is a debate in my house. Emily likes Bree. She likes Bree, which Bree is a psycho. I can't believe I'm actually disappointed that Bree's the redhead. I kind of like I don't even know her name. That's the sad part. The brunette. I always call her Monica, and it's not Monica. It's I forget her name. I
Disclaimer, I've
never
watched
remember her name. I know Eva. I know Bree. I know. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember.
Not a fan of Bree. Joe's not.
Bree's a psycho.
That's true, Tanner. We're having to talk about this shit because Kentucky don't have a team yet.
Tanner finally has something to say for the first time about basketball. Eva Longoria, yeah.
I saw the pit is good. I'm not allowed to watch it in this house, Tanner. My wife's a resident and I work in healthcare, so it's like it's like I don't want to see that stuff when I get home. Man, listen, yeah, I saw somebody tweet the other day, Brady, and it was like such a good point that they were like, Pope's mindset on this is your point guard can't get hurt if you don't have a point guard.
Ooh. Philosophical.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good point.
You can't.
Yeah, that's how you solve that problem.
But things look like they're trending up a little bit.
Speaking of point guard, we did land it. And if you've not seen from what I posted, we're going to run with it. That me and Brady predicted that that would be our first commit over a week ago.
You did because we like the name.
Yeah. We found out that Don admitted that he dropped the ball and you weren't named Zoom.
I was named Zoom.
And I'm glad he admitted that. But we did, Brady. We did get our first portal commit. Now, obviously, you've had some guys like Reese Potter and those guys who have said they are coming back. We'll talk about Braden Hawthorne here in a little bit. He is going to come back to Kentucky just because of that little controversy of that clip the other day. We take everything out of context. That's actually something I want to talk about here again later as well. But Brady, we did get our first portal commit, and me and you talked about him on the show last week. We kind of like the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a big guard. I think you got the SEC. The SEC is full of long athletes. You know, long athletes, big guards, big athletic people. It's a lot different than the Big Ten. I think Big Ten's more like, at least in the past, it's kind of evolved ever since the portal. But the SEC is known for athletes. I think this guy fits that mold. I think we're at times where like you saw like a Lamont Butler struggle, right? Like that, it just sometimes didn't fit in the SEC. I think this guy fits.
Well, I've seen some reports, and I'm hoping that we get to talk to our brother Austin Kidd here in a little bit. He's really watched some video, but I've heard some reports that Zoom can't play in a system that's continuity and motion and spacing. He has to have the ball in his hand. And honestly, Brady, if you do not get Tyron Stokes, let's hopefully we do, but let's pretend we don't. You almost need a point guard that has the ball in his hands like that. I know that's not necessarily a Mark Pope system, but I think you got to put some shooters around him, and that helps when you've got a point guard. That
I think you got to read tea leaves a little bit. I'm going to make a bold statement. I think if they start going all in on the kid, the kid from Furman, Wilker, I know I'm jumping
Wilkins
here. I think if they go a little more aggressive on him and things amp up, I think they're in a position they have to make Stokes make a decision. You can't drag this out any longer because if for whatever reason things fall through with Stokes and now these other guys go somewhere. But if they start, I think getting Wilkins. If Wilkins, because he's a guy that also kind of needs the ball in his hands too. So I don't see how the three can maybe I'm wrong, but those three are very, those are three people you're going to have to really try to figure out how to coexist with them needing the ball in their hands. So I would say I don't see all three playing together at any point, which will be interesting to see, I think, probably in the next 3 or 4 days. Like, how serious is Wilkins? Because I don't see how that would work, but I'm not there, so maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
that's what Austin did.
Yeah, I'm gonna let's pull in Aaron.
I actually have something. I want to bring up a topic. Heyo,
what's going on, boys?
Man, It's always
I heard you were talking Portal, and I got an itch, and I was like, man, I gotta hop on.
Well, we're
If I
talking about the
knew-
new.
we did.
Well,
I know, I heard that too. I did hear that. Yeah.
If you ever really want to see Austin Kidd and hear his voice, we start talking some basketball and Portal talk, and he'll pop up.
Absolutely. Can't stay away from it. I've been my work productivity this time of year just like it tanks, and hopefully my boss isn't watching because I just like constantly like I have to uninstall Twitter from my phone. I try to block it on my web browser, and then I just type in like Kentucky Sports Radio. Like anytime I get bored, my fingers just start typing Kentucky Sports Radio just to see if there's an update. Yeah.
You should be typing you
know the drill.
Come on,
We
man.
don't have a lot of updates. We will, by God, we'll tell you if somebody lands on the moon. We'll be the first.
That's what I
We
hear.
got to do it.
Well-
We got. Well, Austin, what's the worst state that you think that you could get sent to and have to live forever? We were just talking about that.
Well, it depends on what part of the state. Like some could be
No,
pretty
like you have to
bad.
live in a
Like,
cage. You live in a cage. Like you cannot step over that line the
they
rest
all
of your life.
suck.
What?
Yeah, Miami sucks. Well,
No, like it's a whole state, guys. Like, a whole state.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you could traverse the entire state, like
I
I
guess-
mean, even Mississippi, dude, they've got a beach. Like Jersey's got a beach. They've got casinos. You can have
He's
some
the
fun in
best, man.
Jersey.
He sees the good in everything. Optimism. Like we need
What do
more
you do?
optimism.
what do you do in Idaho other than eat?
I mean, what's the French city that's like up on a lake, like Coeur d'Alene
yeah.
or something? I can't pronounce it. They've got some cool, like great skiing, like Boise. The coffee's a little diluted, and I hear they don't like to drink beer there. But other than that, it's a pretty cool place. As cool as you can be when you don't like beer. Brady's been there for an NCAA tournament game.
Oh,
Yeah, Brady spent
they-
some time
They
in
got
Boise.
weird rules, man. They're weird rules.
I
It's a
got-
different
I
world.
got
there.
left behind.
You did.
so strange, so strange. I'm going.
That
I've
was-
got to get with you
yeah.
all on some rules. I'm going to Utah in a couple weeks, so I need to know. Where to, how not to get in trouble in Salt Lake City.
They don't even have things that make you get in trouble.
It's
It's impossible.
it's the opposite of Las Vegas, huh?
Yeah, they're just. I don't know. I mean, we can. I don't want to get in trouble, but we can talk about what Idaho and the more. Regardless, kid, what do you think of Zoom?
I really like Zoom. I don't want to be the guy that's like, man, I'd rather have Zoom than Rob Wright. Rob Wright's really freaking good, and Rob Wright can really shoot it. But what I do like about Zoom, I think Zoom is a really good passer. I think he's a really physical guard, and I think he's only scratched the surface of that. 2-level, he can knock down an open shot, 2-level score. But I think like if Rob Wright's on your team, like he's got to take shots, and you got to get him shots from 3. So, like, the ball's probably getting out of his hands early. And at that point, like, might as well be a 2-guard. You get Zoom and you've got somebody who can get paint touches. He can facilitate. He's a big guard. He's a 2-level scorer. He can finish around the rim, and he's really crafty. A lot of people have been talking about his mid-range game. And it's pretty consistent, right? As, relative to a lot of coaches they're not seeking those shots. But I think Pope's shown he's pretty comfortable with guys taking mid-range shots. Denzel Aberdeen took a lot this year. He'll take it away, obviously. Maybe that's the reason we were in the position that we were in. But he could do that. But it gives you an opportunity. A guy like Wilkins can come in, or Cruz Davis, the kid from Hofstra. Like, he's phenomenal. But it gives you an opportunity. Like, those guys are really nice. And I think this is why some of the really good Kentucky teams been good. You've had a 2-guard, like Deron Lamb always comes to mind. They could slide over and play the 1 when, but they're a threat off the ball and they can make plays off the ball. But Wilkins and Cruz kind of give you that, like a 2-guard that can make plays off the ball. You can slide them over. If they're taking away Zoom, doing a good job defending them in ball screens or whatever, you've got somebody else that can kind of facilitate for you.
Tanner says Zoom did pretty well against some of the best teams in the Big Ten this past season. I will agree with that. We've got Zoom. You just mentioned a couple other guys that I want to talk about a little bit too, Kid. One of those being the guy that you did just mention. Tell us a little bit, because he has a lot of momentum around his name in Kentucky right now. What can you tell us about Alex Wilkins?
Now, bear with me here. I know I had some Wi-Fi problems last time we were on, and it looks like I keep freezing up.
Oh, did you freeze up? Can you hear us?
I don't know if it looks like it on your all's end, but Wilkins, I mean, just a dynamic player, played in the SoCon, which is a really good mid-major league. Anytime you can come in and average 20 a game as a freshman and then 4 or 5 assists a game, like, you're a pretty good player.
Yeah, and you saw, I feel like, and you can watch a little bit on your clip. He is a guy that, to me, has a passing skill a lot like Jalen Lowe. I feel like he's really good at knowing where guys are on the court, and I feel like he can also, he also adds, if you get a guy like Tyron Stokes that can draw a little of attention, it seems like Wilkins is a little bit better of a shooter than some of the other options out there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, he can knock him down. Oh, go ahead, Brady.
No. I was gonna say, like, I think even watching him a little bit more, he's very, like, plays with great pace. Like, he doesn't seem to get sped up too much. The one interesting thing that I think I wanted to point out, and I think I told you, Wes, before the call, was the thing looking at it from picking out flaws. I think you have to look at his game logs from this past year. And although, like Austin just said, he did play in the SoCon in a great league, but he played against one Power 5 team, and they weren't really Power 5. They are Power 5. They're they're the blue blood. He only played UConn the last game of the year. I think that's just something that, again, he had a good game. They had scored 21 points against him the last game of the year. But that's something also, I know when they are evaluating the portal, it's like you get these mid-major guys and you really just pull out the games that they've played, But Furman's a great program. They're not going to play anyone that's like a high major non-conference. Like, you're great. That's kind of the downfall. But that would be one thing I'd be a little bit concerned about, but I wouldn't be that concerned.
So are you trying to tell me that just because the two probably highest teams he played was WKU and Marshall, that Cody Stumbo would not be valuable in this portal right now?
He would be deemed a wild card. He'd be a guy that'd be like, I hope.
Oh, Stumbo, they're dogging you, man. They're dogging you.
Stump.
I guarantee you this. You could count on one hand how many guys in this portal got the post moves equivalent anywhere close to Cody Stumbo.
Would agree.
Stumbo would have got out Mara from Michigan.
He'd be great, man. The 2 7-footers and Cody Stumbo.
I got to give a shout out. While Tanner's still on here, I'll say this: you got two. We'll come back to Kentucky in a second. There is 2 programs that I think have absolutely crushed the portal so far. It's Louisville and Indiana. I think you're seeing 2 distinctive paths forward with the portal. You're going to have teams that are patient. You're going to have teams that are aggressive. And I think the approach that Indiana is taking in Louisville, I think they're just saying, like, let me go try to get the best players immediately as possible and fill up your team. Like, they're not waiting around for those late. There's going to be guys that go. When's the portal close? Like, next week, this coming week, I think, this Thursday, Friday. But they're filling their team up with the best possible. Early, like, Louisville spent a ton of money on those. They've got their guys. Carter Knox committed today. Like, they're going with speed. And Indiana, man, they got a great, they've got a great group, that they have put together. And you know what? It might not be perfect. They might not win the Big Ten, but they got a team that I think Indiana, like, fans have been looking for. Like, there's optimism. So they got Bryce Lindsey from our friend Preston.
Yeah, they did.
But
they are. It's looking up.
Have you guys?
Anytime you have success in any sport, right? They win the college football playoffs. That brings momentum. If you have success in football, that brings momentum to basketball. It's more money. Exactly right. And anytime your brand is promoted, your brand is promoted.
Have you guys seen Yagita Glue play? The big guy they signed from SMU. That's one of the guys you could count on one hand that's probably got post moves up there with
Stumbo.
Stumbo. He's really good.
I'd say.
But there, you see this trend, man. It's been a lot of 5 out, like guard intensive, and I still think you have to have good guards, and that's why I like Wilkins so much. 3-level scorer who can also facilitate.
Yeah,
slot him to you can play him at the 1, the 2. I think at this level.
Look
at these teams playing bigs.
Yeah, but Kentucky's team different this past year. If they would have gotten Wilkerson from Indiana, and I think that's how this kid is. Kind of similar, right? Like you've been a proponent of that, Austin. You
Wilkerson would have made the world of difference in this team because he could have, again, slid over when we didn't have a 1. I think he's probably better as a 2. He's just such a good shooter and a guy he's a 3-level scorer. And he did that he was doing that at Sam Houston State, which probably a little bit better of a league than the SoCon. But the other thing is the upside with Wilkins. He just finished his freshman year. So, there's obviously going to be growing pains, but I mean, that's the same for everybody. Like everybody's taking kids like this year. Everybody's learning a new system every year. Like you're going to have some bumps. That's part of coaching now. You got to be able to figure that out really quickly in the preseason.
I want to ask you a little bit, kid. Back, I was at an event in Louisville here right before the NCAA tournament started and ran into our hopeful future guest and good friend, John Robick, who is now a scout for the San Antonio Spurs. Hopefully Brady gives us an impression at some point on this show if Robes can't join us. He mentioned a guard from Hofstra that he said to put Hofstra on your upset alert because they have a couple of guards that can really, really play. One of those, none other than Cruz Davis, whose name has been brought up around Kentucky a lot lately. You mentioned him just a minute ago, kid. Tell us a little bit about Cruz Davis.
I think he's a lot similar to Wilkins. I think he's a 3-level scorer. Probably a little more dynamic, a little bit older. But man, I mean, I'm watching the clips right now. He's throwing the ball off the floor. He's got his head up. He's got a really tight handle. 3-level scorer though. That's like, I want like 3 guys on the court that are 3-level scorers. That's one thing I think, you look at LeBaron Philon that played at Alabama this year. Whenever I watched him play, I was like, I wish I had three of him on the floor at all times. And I think you could figure out a way to win every game, regardless of your situation with your bigs. But, that was one of the narratives in the tournament, other than, teams are playing big now, is let's go get guys that can put the ball in the hoop and we'll figure out the defensive end. And with a lot of these guys, I don't think it's so much effort. It's, what's your standard, what's your scheme? Like, what do you allow guys to get away with effort wise? So I don't worry about that. Like it's really hard to teach offense, and you don't want to be a team that has to manufacture stuff in the half court. It's a miserable way to try to win. I've been through that. And as most of us that have coached at, small college, high school level, it's not fun. It's a lot harder. It's probably what a lot of people dream of when they think of coaching, getting to draw up a X's and O's, call a set every trip down the court. But man, that's not fun. Guys like Cruz and Wilkins, like they're guys that can create an advantage. They know how to play with it, and they could take advantage of it at the end of the day. So a lot like Wilkins, you could play both those guys on the court with Zoom.
Another big name, kid that we want to hear you and Brady both talk a little bit about. He was on campus the other day. Big guy, Donnie Freeman. Obviously, a name that's come about, had a great couple of years at Syracuse after being a top recruit just a couple of years ago. Tell us a little bit about Donnie. The Don.
You go, kid. I don't know much about him.
He put up numbers in the ACC. ACC's no scrub league. This is Zoom. I want to go back to Zoom really quick. Tanner made the comment that he put up good numbers against the Big Ten. The Big Ten was by far the best league in the country. ACC, I didn't think it was that strong this year, but still, like if you're at a Power 4, still feels weird saying Power 4, but if you're at a Power 4 and you're putting up 20 and 7-8 a game, like you're probably a pretty good player. And Syracuse wasn't a bad team this year. And you look, if they would have had Freeman the entire season, it's probably, Autry probably still has his job. My computer went to sleep here. There we go. Probably still has his job, but just a guy who can put the ball on the floor. I mean, he's got size. He could switch guard 1 through 5, really athletic. Probably what people wanted Brandon Garrison to be. What Brandon, at his peak, his best games, like what he looked like, when he taking a couple passes and ripping and getting out in transition and finishing above I think he elevates better than Brandon. But yeah, a guy like that, he can step out and knock down a shot, but that's probably the best comparison I have for him. And just exciting anytime you get in a conversation with a guy who's proven at a really high level of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, it's going to be needed. You've got Malachi Moreno, who will likely return after testing the waters in the NBA draft. But as we know, injuries happen, especially as a big in a physical league like the SEC. You can't have a guy like Malachi Moreno Malachi play 40 minutes.
Moreno.
Can you roll your R's?
Malachi Moreno.
Moreno.
Oh,
Moreno.
Come on, man. Moreno.
Oh, do you think Kentucky will try to and retain any players from the 25-26 team with the 5th-year eligibility?
Dude,
I
saw it.
At least our guys.
Austin says dude, people are saying, like, I saw a tweet out there that I don't remember who it was, but they said, people are kind of slow playing it right now because if they do let people come back, like, it could be a thing. Now, I don't see how they. I don't see how they backdate it because part of that rule is also you can only transfer one time without sitting out. So are you going to make all these guys that just transferred? I know Austin Kidd would love to have Brandon Garrison another year. So he'd have to come back.
Listen, I'll say this. The only comment I'll make on that, I'm always appreciative of the guys that come here, but at the end of the day, like I want Kentucky to win basketball games. I want them to win at everything they do. It freaking stinks watching our two probably traditionally biggest rivals have the best 2 portal classes, and everybody's just like, Kentucky fans are crazy. I think we also have a good sense of humor. They're just on social media getting absolutely clowned right now. I try to stay off of it. Like I said, I delete Twitter, but some of that stuff pops up. We got plenty of roster spots. We don't need to slow play anything. So I think we could probably pick it up a little bit, and we're still going to have a couple spots at the rate things are going right now. But that would be super intriguing. I'm just trying to think of some of the guys that in theory graduated this year across the league and the country that would gain another year.
Tanner said Terrace Reed.
Terrace Reed and Alex Caravan.
Yeah,
they're hey, Eric, this is what I wanted to ask you because I'm going to get you all fired up here, and this could interact. This could be Tanner would be like to be in this. Okay, I think there's not too distinctive. I think there is clearly a shift in college basketball and a shift in college sports in general. Obviously, that's okay. I think let's start identifying as like kind of like BC, right? Like you have like 1080 BC, like before Christ, and AC. It's whatever. There's no AC, right? Does that just make that up? It's BC. So you know how they did like the before Christ,
something like that, Brady.
It's close enough.
Close
AD,
enough.
but yeah, we'll go.
Okay. AD, yes. Please. All right. There should be like, okay, I'm thinking let's do pre-NIL time, right? You had your Blue Bloods, you had Kentucky, you had, Indiana, the Blue Bloods, right? I think after NIL, after this, I don't think that like the Blue Bloods is really like you're going to see like 100 years from now, you're going to look back and I think the Blue Bloods are going to be completely not the same. I don't, you're going to have your traditional programs, but I wouldn't be shocked if you start. I don't know how it will look. Like, who do you forecast being like the top, let's say, consistent programs that you'll deem like your post-NIL Blue Bloods like out there? And 5 might be too slow, but yeah. I haven't opened the history book in a while. Come on. But right? Like you get what I'm saying. I'm not conveying it correctly, but the aura of going to like a North Carolina anymore, the aura of going to Kentucky, it's not the same because of the money. Like I get it. We live in Kentucky. We think it is. But
I feel strongly about this.
I'm not. Listen, if you are offered $1 million to go to Kentucky and you're offered $2 million to go to, let's say, Florida, which that's a bad example because I think they're now blue, like, or a Mississippi State, right? Does the $1 million, does that outweigh it? Maybe. I think it is. I think it is in today's age.
I know where Austin Kidd's at.
I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, $1 million is $1 million. So, but Wes, I want to hear what you had to say about this. I got some pretty concise
I mean,
Thoughts?
I think it still matters to an extent, right? Especially, and here's one way to think about it. You look at Tyron Stokes. The brand of Kentucky has Nike putting almost $2 million forward to help get Stokes there. So the brand still matters to an extent. There's a lot of Nike schools out there that Nike's not putting that money up for to get Tyron Stokes. So I do think that matters. Also, there's a little bit of history. I think let's look at it obviously. If the difference is $1 million versus $5 million, possibly. But I think if the money's anywhere close, I think a lot of those brands still matter. And I think you've got to think about Kentucky, UCLA, North Carolina, Duke, Kansas. I do think those matter over other schools if the money is close.
I agree. Before, kid, I want to define a blue blood. Like, let's define a blue blood right now so we can talk to that level, because we have to define that, and maybe we have to add a few as it is in the what do you define a blue blood?
I've always been curious, and I've just never looked it up, where that term originates from.
All right, let's look it up.
Yeah, do some Googling there. Open your history book.
I was trying to find a little graphic I saw, which is kind of crazy when you look at the past decade of NCAA tournament winners, and you see a big Husky on there a million times. It's kind of scary.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I think a blue blood. I'm curious to see what the literal definition is, if there is a literal definition, or if it's just a sports term. But it's just a program with deep tradition, with history of success, would be my guess. That's why I think we're in an era now, nobody has the budget Kentucky has. And money is a massive factor in any of this. Whoever has the most resources, you're going to be able to compete. You might not win it every year. It's really hard to win, but you're always going to be able to compete. But sustainability, I think, is what it boils down to. And Kentucky, because of its tradition, its history dating back so many years, over a century, you've got a really, really deep well that can sustain a drought. A lot of programs don't have that. There are some that, they might have success right now, and they might always have a little bit of success, but the well's just not that deep. They don't have that strong of a foundation to navigate them, sustain them through this era.
I like that. That's a good analysis.
I
think
like
you're right. I like your take on being able to sustain a drought. I never thought of it like that.
I think that's a really good point. Yep.
Kentucky's they've had rough patches before in the history of Kentucky basketball. They've always bounced back. It's just, I think who we are. And I think in some capacity, that's a representation of Kentuckians and the mentality that we share. But yeah, they're never down for the count.
I like that. And it was if you all want a random fact, blue blood was first back. I think there was a guy in 1927 in the Brooklyn Times just basically said he coined there's a blue blood matchup in the Centrals. He said Centrals made up of a basketball blue blood, and it kind of just stuck. So I don't think there was really any, anything crazy that it was, but it just kind of stuck. But
how big of a role do fan bases play in blue bloods? I mean, I think you got to think of that too, right? When you look at some of these programs, the brand and the name of Kentucky, Duke, that carries a lot more weight than.
Ooh,
I hate to say this. When you think of schools with national titles, let's take Villanova, for instance. There's no way Villanova has the fan base that Kentucky and Duke have, right? So how do you factor in the fan base?
I think
where the cycle.
Go ahead, kid.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to keep cutting you off, man. I'm bad about that.
No. This is a good question. We're going to come back to this because I want to ask your all's opinion. What's the blue blood of songs? That's a whole other question. That's a whole other. But I think the fans play a big part. But it's hard though, right? Because Duke doesn't have Duke doesn't have the crazy. I'm not crazy, but they're not huge. But they've got tradition. So I think it plays a part. I think what elevates Kentucky as one of the biggest blue bloods is the fans, right? I think they're in that sector. I think Indiana, it's always going to be Kentucky's always going to be the main they're always going to be on the ESPN. It is true. I want to get back on the fans though. Austin, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's why people are willing to throw so much money in this, because the return on it, and the return's not always wins. I mean, you win more, you play longer, just naturally there are going to be more eyes on your product. But you win in a high level, like people want to be associated with winning, right? People you hear these stories of people that grew up watching like Jamal Mashburn and Patino, and they're from New York or California or wherever, and it's just like that was the thing. And TV wasn't what it was today. So like you could catch a Kentucky game, prime time, and like that's your experience with college basketball. You're like, holy crap, like these guys are awesome. And you fall in love with it. So like that exposure, but also it's a perpetual cycle, right? So like UK healthcare is a really good example. If they're not throwing this type of money at the University of Louisville, right? Because like there aren't that many eyes, like the brand of that isn't as powerful because there aren't as many fans. So like they can throw more money at University of Kentucky, and it's UK healthcare. Obviously, they're not going to throw money at Louisville, but
still,
that's beside the point. But like UK healthcare is going to throw money at UK athletics. UK athletics has more money to sustain the success. They continue to succeed. It's a better marketing campaign. Yeah, exactly. For UK healthcare, it drives more revenue for them. Then they can pour more money back into it. And again, it's a perpetual cycle. But it's like that across the board. Like Nike's not throwing this money at other programs and trying to convince the number one recruit in the program to go somewhere else. Like they understand the value. Like there are people, there's influence here. Like Tyron Stokes is going to gain, thousands and thousands of fans. He's going to have loyal fans for the rest of his career. He's going to have the biggest social media platform. He's going to be on national TV every night. And the only reason, because people like now, they like watching Kentucky lose, which, I've enjoyed that. We've had a good life for the most part. Us guys in our 30s, like the success that we've seen, and watching some of these other programs like Indiana kind of stink it up. Sorry, Tanner. But yeah, like there's just so many eyes on the program. Like it just that's where all this money comes from. It's not just the Joe Crass opening up their pocketbooks because they're big time fans. Like there's an ROI because of the exposure it gives your brand.
Before we talk about Brady's song, I want to stay on the mention of that for a minute. I feel like that is something that has been very common. We saw a couple tweets in the last couple of weeks talking a little bit about the fan base. And let me be clear before I bring this question up. I don't think any of this is the fan base's fault. I think a lot of it goes back to what the fans are fed by media, right? But is that brand name a double-edged sword for
not media, Wes? They're not media.
That's why I put media in quotations. Yeah. But you think about it. Let me ask you this. You asked me about that brand a minute ago as a recruit, Brady. Does that mean anything? Me and Kid talked about that. If you are a recruit, let's take Tyron Stokes, for instance. And every time you get on Twitter, you're seeing people asking to fire Mark Pope. Get rid of Mark Pope sucks. He can't recruit. He whiffed on this. Does that negatively impact a recruit?
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Kentucky's almost biggest, like their most powerful engine is the fans, like the passion. I got to experience it from both sides. Like I came from Kentucky, then went to Arizona State. Arizona State fans do not care at all. So I got to see kind of how the other side lives, right? Like you're kind of seeing that, which was cool to see. But like you were just waiting for fans to show up. And I think, the good thing that Kentucky has is the amount of fans and how many people care. But I do think the toxicness that is thrown around on social media now, almost makes it like, I know it impacts recruiting. Like it impacted us at times. You would be stupid to think other coaches don't screenshot things that fans have said to players directly and send to recruits. Like you're stupid if you don't. Like you have to put so much doubt in kids' minds when you're recruiting. Now it's a little bit easier when you've got money to back and like say, hey, yeah, come here, we'll still pay you well. But back in the day, man, like, yeah, the assistant coaches would use it as ammo all the time. Like you would like some kid sitting in his college room tweeting a player saying crazy things, like that can have a huge impact huge because you're fueling the fire. And like, whether we want to be stupid and not think it does, like these kids are still 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. And more importantly, the moms and dads read it. And if the moms and dads read it, they're like, I'm not sending my kid into that dogfight. Like, why would I send my kid there? I don't want him. They're trying to protect their kid, not send him into the wolves. Like, because there's a lot of kids that can't handle it.
Yeah. We
So-
just had, we
run
talked a
from
little
it.
bit about this last week with Zach McGeorge, I think's watching at the moment. But go ahead, kid.
No, you can't. You put yourself in their shoes. Like easier said than done. Like, well, you deserve the criticism. You're making millions of dollars. You're essentially a professional athlete. This and that. But I mean, you're 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever, year-old kid. Like so much of it, especially with this next generation, is about like perception online specifically, like the TikToks and the, whatever. So like wherever you go, there are comments and, you got to have some real discipline to say, like, I'm not going to pay attention to this or I'm not going to look at it at all. But yeah, so it's part of the territory. Didn't have this problem at ALC.
I like that. Thumb thugs. I like that.
Yeah,
Thumb-
that's
Thumb thugs.
yeah. We need to just channel the energy to positivity. That's all we need to do in the world, in sports, everything.
We should have. Is there ever a point we should go live and just have Seth Curlock lead an international meditation day live on You Know the Drill?
We should. And then people can like laugh at me, try to stretch, and I can only touch my kneecaps. So we'll just, I guess it's yoga. It's technically yoga's not meditating, but one question I do want to, while we're on the topic of basketball, I know we got a few more minutes, but Wes and Austin, when do you give up on Stokes? Like there's a point I talked about in the beginning of the show. There's a time where you have to cut the tie because you can't afford to lose these kids that's in his position and you're out. At what point during this cycle do you just say, all right, we're gone? Like make a decision.
I don't actually know what I'm talking about. You should have a disclaimer like over my, like down here where my name is. Like I sometimes I sound like I think I do. I promise you, I don't actually think I know what I'm talking about. I hope nobody takes me seriously. But no, it's unless you're on the inside and you know what Tyron Stokes is thinking. I think that's hard to say because you hear all this different stuff like, well, these kids don't want to play with Tyron, or you don't know. Is it the money? Like, is it the vision that Pope's selling? Is he selling out? I do think I don't have all those answers, so it's really hard to say. Like, if kids don't want to play with Tyron, then okay, if that's the case, then I could make the argument like move on, just go get some dudes that want to be here. If Tyron like really wants to be at Kansas and he's not because of Nike or just the money or whatever, then like that just sounds like problem waiting to happen. But I don't know if any of that's the truth. So if it was, I'd say move on. But it's not. If it's not, then like he's so talented. Like I don't think people realize. You see some of this corny stuff he does where he's doing his like Fortnite dance in the middle of games and stuff, and you're like, all right, this kid, he's really freaking good. Like
Generate.
He is real. Like he's not a freshman. All right, Boozer was really good this year. Like he's probably an exception, but like most of these guys are, they're freshmen. Like Darius Acuff was really good, but like Tyron Stokes is good enough to put you in the conversation for a national title. And he's such a good facilitator, which is wild that people, there's a narrative people wouldn't want to play with him. But like, I don't think, I would think at this point, like it's past sunk cost. Like you're in it. Like you might as well ride it out. And it's really going to suck if he takes more visits to other Nike schools and ends up somewhere else. It's also going to suck if he comes here and we don't win 30 games and, make it at least in the Elite Eight, like hopefully Final Four national title. But at the end of the day, none of like who you sign, who you don't sign, like Pope's got to go win, man. We gotta win some games with or without Tyron Stokes. So I'd probably rather see it with Tyron, but
you bring up a good point. I mean, people forget, like, dude, you know how many times kids silently commit? Like he could be committed and you just don't know. He doesn't have to be publicly out there. I know he probably there could be a plan, like an announcement plan, like their strategy behind it. He could be.
If I was the GM right now, I saw Cody Stumbo's comment, like they've got all this money aside, give all that money to Momcilovic. I love that guy. He's such a good college guy. Just give all that money. Don't hold it for Stokes. Go get Momcilovic, and then
I haven't seen where he's going. Where's he going?
NBA or Florida, allegedly.
Interesting.
I knew Kid was coming with that. That's where he would like.
I had to get that in. It didn't present itself, so I had to slide it in. I had to get a paint touch there.
I would go in with you, Kid, but the money that I can put forward, I don't know if it could have gotten Stumbo to ALC. I mean, it's very limited.
Yeah, man.
I think I agree with that, Kid, on the fact, though. I agree with a lot of what you said there. I think when you're in essentially the final two of getting a generational talent like Tyron Stokes, I don't know that you can just give up. Unless he comes to you and says, hey, like, I'm going to look at some other Nike schools because I like the money, but I really don't want to play here. Until he says that to me, I'm not going to back out, right? I mean, I think you have to take the shot on that. And here's one of the things I think, and Kid, Brady, I want your opinion on this, and anybody else, throw it in the chat. Thanks, Stumbo. Stumbo would take a discount for me. It would have to be a discount. Listen, I think Kentucky has the advantage in the waiting game. And here's why I think that. Bill Self has coached a lot of really good, talented players. And I think that's the kind of players that he can coach. Mark Pope has shown, look at his first year with, his Jackson Robinsons, his Lamont Butlers. I think that if we hold out and ever who loses, if it's us and we lose out on Tyron Stokes, I think Mark Pope can find a good low, mid-major, forward, whatever, to come in and build a roster still. I think that's where Bill Self is going to struggle a little bit more, is to pull a random low major or mid-major couple of guys in to fill that spot. I think we have the advantage there.
You really just hope that it's a good point, but you also just hope Adidas doesn't get more and more desperate for that reason. So it's all going to play out. It's like the coaching search, coaching, this used to be the time of the year that coaches would be getting new jobs and you would see a coach leave or retire and then the domino would fall. They just need some of these big dominoes to fall because, Austin spent some time at the mid-major level. Like imagine, Florida Gulf Coast and the Citadel, like they're just kind of sitting there waiting for all these things to play out before then they start getting the scraps, right? Not the scraps, but everything's just kind of got to fall. And I think those dominoes like Milan and Stokes, all these guys need to make a decision for the rest of college basketball to have a team.
Austin Kidd, would you rather sit courtside every game next season or sign Tyron Stokes?
How close am I to Mark Pope? Like, can I drop some casual?
You can reach out and touch his left ass cheek if you want to.
Man, that's probably, I say that jokingly, but it's probably dangerous. It's probably good I'm not. I'd rather have Tyron Stokes. I'll sit my butt on my couch.
I'm with you. I think I would.
How about you, Wes?
I think I would give it up. I would take sitting at home or sitting at PBC with the both of you, watching every one of those games with us, Eric, and Ayersman and Jack.
You can still sit in the second row.
Do what?
You can still go and sit at the second row.
That's true. We can still sit in the second row. We could do. I didn't disclaim that.
Tickets are expensive now, man. I looked at a couple last year. I wanted to take my 1-year-old to a game, and I was like, man, I'm not paying those prices. Take a 1-year. He's not even going to remember this. Like, that's insane.
Yep.
No. Well, what's your Blue Blood songs? What's 5 Blue Blood songs?
I think at the top of my list, I would have to go "Firework" by Katy Perry. It's got to be.
Well, no, it has to withstand. It has to withstand the old of time. You think I'm thinking like you're thinking. I'm thinking like Piano Man. Like,
a song that has really withstood the test of 2 songs that come to my mind that have withstood Austin Kidd's test of time. One is what's the Black Eyed Peas song?
I Got a Feeling.
I Got a Feeling. That one still plays at sporting events every freaking time you go. and 2 is Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Those 2 songs will play forever in arenas at sporting events.
Yeah.
Billie
There's a lot.
Jean.
There's a lot. Like,
What's your guys's?
Sweet
I'm thinking on
Caroline.
a different wavelength now. Sweet Caroline. Ooh. Like,
Like,
these, my personal ones are just like ones that just like resonate.
I
with
think
the
there's a
people.
lot. Like there's a lot. Like the songs that will be played in 25 years, even if they're like 100 years old. All I want for Christmas is
Hey, that's a good one.
Which, hold on, I'm putting this up here. Stumbo, while we talk, Stumbo said this. This is interesting. I forgot about this.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
One thing about. I'm
Yeah,
thinking like I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Wes, you're the music guy. Why are you not?
I've named you like 4. I've got like 4 up there, and I would agree with Stumbo. All I want for Christmas is you. We will rock you good. Hey,
Like,
I think
Happy.
we talked about Phil Collins earlier. In the Air Tonight has to be like that's
yeah,
up
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Austin Kidd, do you know who Kenny G is?
Yes, Brady. This year
I don't know what
tonight.
KG is.
Just go turn on some Kenny G. If you want to do it right, go pour some wine, light some candles, turn on some Kenny G.
Watch out, Emily. Watch out.
No.
Change your life.
Well,
Lose yourself. Great.
That's another good one.
man, I'm like drawing a blank because I'm usually like I can usually hear some songs like
I'm thinking of songs from like songs I grew up with that are just gonna like play forever. Like, at I don't know, like when I turn on the oldie station here in a few years, I
Yeah.
can probably turn it on now, and it's like, what are the classics? But like, yeah, y'all are going way back, and I don't think of like these cornball songs like Pharrell, like Happy, like makes me cringe every time I hear that.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking like it's my life, it's now.
Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
I feel like, as bad as I hate to say it, because my wife will tell you, I hate Imagine Dragons maybe more than anything in this world because every song they have sounds just the same. But they've got some that, dude, I hear all the time, constantly.
That's
Radioactive was like the biggest banger for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry, Stumbo. Dude, Wes, that is a weird hatred for something. Like I expect you to hate some certain things, but the fact that you just come out with a hate of Imagine Dragons, they're like harmless. You don't even really. I don't even know what if Imagine Dragons walked in to Publix when I'm up there. I wouldn't even know who they were.
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue who they were.
That's probably the case for most bands. Like,
yeah.
No clue. Apparently, they're filming a bunch of movies in Lexington right now. I saw they passed. I don't know what type of like incentive, but yeah, they filled like Hillary Duff's sister, Haley, was apparently here like last summer filming a movie over right next to campus, and they said, oh man, what's the guy in The Hangover? Huge Duke fan.
The
Asian guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm on here too long, guys, I'll get canceled. Just give me just let me keep talking and we'll get us kicked off the air.
What was it that you said, Hillary Duff? What was it Matt Jones said in the car that day, Brady, to Hollis? He's like, she's got nothing on Hollis, but she's a very beautiful woman or something like that.
Fun fact.
70%.
This is true.
Wild.
This is true a lot.
My wife loves a good Hallmark movie. That's interesting. I didn't know that it was that we were that deep and like
your Danvilles and your E-towns are such Hallmark towns. It's not even funny.
Is Kentucky Athletics getting any kickback on this? I mean, I just feel like there's got to be some NIL opportunity there with Hallmark. And that just like exposes the guys to just a completely new like demographic of people. Just like, yeah.
So are you saying that instead of Andy Griffith, Mark Pope should sit recruits down and show them Hallmark movies?
I would love to, like, oh my gosh, that might be my favorite tweet so far. I just want to know what's actually going on. I wish he would do that. Like, get a player that's like in on it and have somebody like Cody Feger like post something from The Office or just embrace it. Like, the next boom, find it, find Barney Fife saying boom or something for the GIF. Like,
what would be the Kentucky Hallmark movie title for Kentucky basketball right now?
Man. There we go. There we go. This is what I want from the viewers. So Stumbo, Tanner, Zach, all you guys that are tuning in with us and active right now. Keith, I know you're still in there too. Let us know what if Kentucky basketball was a Hallmark movie right now, what would the title be?
And Hallmark movies have some unique. They're not creative titles. It's like the Christmas card, the Christmas note, the Christmas snowflake. Like they don't really have it done.
And what are some
brains churning?
Let's do that. Let's look up some. What are some?
You call it the front of the jersey.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's what Mark Pope would name it, right? Let's see. Hallmark movie titles. I told it's funny.
You're thinking way too hard, brother. You better.
I really am, man.
You can comment if you can't think of one right now. You can always throw it in the comments after the show. So let's look at here. So what? This ain't right. Fall into love, winter escape, spring into love. Oh, that's series. We want movie titles. McGeorge says he can't Google. He's watching the show. Let's see. Most
I don't know.
watched Hallmark movies. So Christmas
we'll go down the rabbit hole on that one.
Wraps, Crown for Christmas, 3 White. That's what Carla says. Sideline heartbreak. I like that. I like that.
I wonder if she used Chat GPT. That's a good one. This is an ongoing one. I feel like this could get some trending stuff. We could think of some good names. The sideline. Heartbreak. I think it's winning so far.
So just a
I
heads up.
don't want to lob this one. I don't want to lob this one to KSR, but I feel like this would be a great
Yeah.
Like I would want Drew to hear Drew Franklin's 2 cents on this. Like man, I just like
him and Ryan would be.
I want to play on the Pope reference. The Pope and the homeless cats.
Yeah, could you relate it to something?
The trash
to
cats,
like
dumpster cats.
No, like the Pope. Like, could you relate it to something with like religion? Like Pope, like a tomb. Like my mind's going places. Like a tomb. Like, hopefully it connects somewhere. Like open tomb.
Well, we need the movie and the tagline for it. So like the Pope and the dumpster cats, the story of a fill in the blank. I'm like on the verge of it. It's right there. I'm gonna come up with it.
Look at Keith here throwing the tire and Stokes in there.
Keith, there we go.
That title reminds me of like the third best, like the number one song that's like the third on an album. Like that's like the best song on an album.
The one like you start to listen to and you always hit next, and then you finally listen to it. Like you just can't you can't skip it, and you're like, this is a banger. Like I've missed this my whole life.
Yes.
Courting the cats.
Hate virtue. Something we can. I'm virtue, patience.
Brady's stuck on. Brady's reading the Book of Mormon when we get off of this.
I'm just trying. I don't know. I don't even. I think it's just. I don't know what the. I think it's when you read all this clutter on Twitter about this whole thing. I think it's also making it hard to think about it.
I'm gonna tie everything together here. Speaking of the Pope, and in the space chat that I unfortunately missed out on, there's a civilization about 2,000 light years away, and they're looking at Earth right now, and what they see is the Roman Empire.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that wild to think?
Is that not crazy? Because of the speed of light, Brady. So if they're looking from that far away, they're looking at the Roman Empire.
I don't.
And that's probably more impressive than what they would be seeing if they looked and could see immediately what's going on right now.
Honestly.
But I think we need to start every show. First of all, we need to have Austin Kidd on more. I did. You guys saw.
Thanks for having me, guys.
But we also need to start off with some, bring a conspiracy theory that you guys think is true or false and why. I love that. I think it activates the brain. Wes and me, I think and Austin, did we go to the moon? We said no.
I don't know. I don't know if I have an opinion on it. I do think it's weird that if we went so long ago, why have we not been back?
But we can circle it, right?
Yeah, for poots and giggles. Like, why? Like, you did it then. Like, why wouldn't you just go back? Like, if it's that easy,
It's the more that I'm like, I used to think we did for sure, but the more that I'm like seeing some of these capsules come back and they're like on fire, I was telling them, and now the fact we're landing them back, like I feel like there's just so much more technology, unless they just don't care to go. I mean, that could be a reason, but
and it's kind
why
of
do they take so long?
Actually, did it on the first try back then.
I know they were.
Yeah,
they were. It is crazy. They landed down in the ocean at Artemis at the exact second that they planned on doing it. That is insane. That is wild.
Why does it take them so deplane? Like, is it like when you land at Bluegrass Airport and everybody stands up at once and tries to run off? Like, what was the deal with?
Dude,
I'm sure there's some reason
we were
saying like,
about it.
I'd be like, get me out of this thing right now. I don't care if I have to swim.
It looked like the most complicated part of their mission was getting those boaters over to get that door open.
It's like just open, let me out. Like, we can do everything we're doing here, like on the other side of that door, out in the open air. Get me out of here.
I think when we finish this show, I'm gonna get on Adobe and change our logo, and it's not gonna say Kentucky's Sports Show anymore. It's just gonna say Kentucky's Show. Because I love it. You get to talking about conspiracies, and I'm on here for a while.
Oh, as a Western Kentuckian, I do have to go back and correct you. You dropped a Brescia reference. That was nice. I did know about Brescia, but I think Brady got Brescia and Berea confused, which is understandable. But I don't know if you have to. I don't know if you have to work if you go to Brescia. But Berea's got a pretty cool thing, like especially for Division III. Like, most Division IIIs are not. You got to pay a big chunk for school. Berea, like, you go participate in the, I don't know what they call it, but
work study program.
Everybody's in the work study program, pays for your tuition. That's pretty sick.
Here's a fun fact: there are only 7 work study colleges left in the United States, and 2 of the 7 are in Kentucky.
I was
Berea and what was your job on campus, Wes?
So my job, my freshman year on campus, it was actually kind of funny. I was in admissions because the admissions director was from Clay County. I was in admissions.
This is all starting to make sense.
I was in admissions, and they wanted me to start getting up for like tours that started at 6 a.m. And I missed a couple of those, and I was like, I'm not going. And next thing I know, I get a call from J.R. Hammond, who's Dumbo and McGeorge know well. And I go down to his office, and he says, "Well, Bub," he said, you didn't go give your tour this morning." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Coach, they want me to, I have to be there at like 5:15 a.m. And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well," he said, "I want you to know," he said, they're kicking you out of the admissions crew." And I was afraid I was going to be put on grounds where you have to mow and weed eat. And, he said, "You're with me now, Bub." And so I never worked again a day in my life.
See, when I was saying this makes sense, I thought you were like signing off some of these guys that have played for Alice Lloyd. I was like, oh, well, they just had Wes sign off. You know, then he got the application, said, yep, looks good.
Man,
Rest
that
is
would have been the
history.
dream. Why did we never think about that? But hey, some of the guys we got in, man, I wasn't too worried about it.
I hear they make it demands of 3 for ALC. I hear it's always demands of 3.
Demands of 3. Demands of 3. And it's okay if you don't know what the 3 are, as long as you just think of them at some point. Just come up with them later. That's a good suggestion, Don. I've not watched Capricorn 1.
I've never seen that one.
Interesting. OJ's
OJ.
another conspiracy.
OJ. Is that OJ Simpson?
Yeah.
I know he was an actor.
The glove don't fit.
You must have quit. There we go.
There's a lot. There's another little, not a conspiracy, but there's another one.
That's another one. That's another. Oh, I could go all day. So we're going to start every show off from here on out with a conspiracy. So be ready. Be ready. We're going to be thinking about it.
Yes. We'll do. Actually, that could be like my homework, Wes. I can come with a topic of a There's a lot.
There's a lot. So we'll go into a conspiracy right after the intro of Justin Bieber, Phil Collins, and Kenny G. Once we get that done.
That's your homework, Brady. Listen to some Kenny G.
Kenny G. I don't even know. I'm going to Google Kenny G right now. What's Kenny G look like?
Pull him up there. You need to listen to him.
Oh, he's like a saxophone guy.
Oh, yeah.
The
He's
saxophone.
got good hair.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You want to go to San Pedro Garza, Mexico? He's got a concert at May 2nd.
Oh, that would be a dream.
And he's in Phoenix.
Was he in Lexington like not that long ago?
Not too long
I
ago.
swear.
Not too long
Yeah.
ago. Mhm.
Dude, he's got $100 million.
Brady, the dude he's a legend.
Where'd Kenny G go to college? Is he, let's see, Washington.
Oh.
Needs to pump some of that money in so they can keep some of their guys. I think their entire roster hit the freaking portal.
It did. They're going to be in a rough shape. They're going to be in a rough shape, which I do want to talk
You know
about
who to call.
in future episodes. What the portal and NIL does to high major programs like Washington, and also, but are on the lower end, and some of your programs like JMU, WKU, because man, those guys, you're putting time and effort into a lot of guys just to bump them on up the ladder almost every year. So that'll be a nice topic.
Buyouts.
How far are we from collective bargaining? And have there been any I haven't caught wind of any multi-year deals. Have any of these guys signed?
I think the multi-year deals. I talked to actually. I'm not going to say his name, but there was an agent I talked to at the Final Four. We were talking about multi-year deals, and he was saying that like the multi-year deals that he signs, which doesn't make any sense because like contracts are supposed to be like, solid. It's like his like all the guys that sign multi-year deals, like I make sure there's a way to they make sure there's a way to get out of it. So it's like they're not going to sign a multi-year deal unless there's a way. And it's like, what's the point of a multi-year deal then? It's like, I don't know.
That's actually really impressive. When you are a WKU or a Murray State or a JM and you can keep your top 3, that's impressive.
Also, a lot of respect for WKU. They got a guy on their staff, Martin Cross, who probably knows Kentucky better than like Kentucky grassroots prep hoops better than anyone, and recruits it harder, and it shows with their roster. I think Travis Perry is going to end up going to Dayton. It might be done.
Oh, wow.
I think a lot of people were pulling for him to land there, but you look at their roster, they got a lot of Kentucky kids. They do a good job of getting out and seeing these kids when they're young. And
Gave former guest and Mr. Basketball Cam Justice a good run there after his run at Vandy and Ooey Pooey.
Ooey Pooey.
So he is committed, Stumbo says. I think it's good. But guys, listen, thank you for Austin Kidd. Thank you for jumping on. This is not your last time. You're going to have to do this more often with us. It's been a blast. Everybody that has joined and talked to us about conspiracies and will now have nightmares because they're going to dream of frying on Mars or something. Thank you for joining the show. I just hope you don't dream of running out of oxygen. That's like, won't like that.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you can.
Maybe you can, or like Brady says, maybe you can actually breathe in outer space. So,
Who's tried it?
there you go.
Brady, you want to be the first?
That would be a way to go, man. When my time's right, yeah, I'll do it.
You'd go out a legend. That'd be one way to do it. He tried to breathe in space. He
Imagine like wait until like
Goes for life.
you're imagine waiting until like the time that you're like you're done, like you're like barely about like you're about to die. You go up there and you find out you can breathe up there, and you're
just
just
launch me. Just launch me. Let me float through nothing for eternity.
Will that ever be a thing? You think some billionaire is going to say, bury me in space one of these days?
It probably has happened. I'd be really surprised if it hadn't.
Yeah, I would be too.
Kind of cool.
I would be too. All right, guys, until next time, thank you for joining us. You know the drill, sponsored by MCHC, providing better health for a longer life. Huge shout out to Hometown 24, David Thacker, Josh Cornett. Thank y'all. Until